We live our lives hooked up to the show. It's virtual reality, lost in space. Flawed personality with a smiley face. Be who you wanna be. Make up the memory. It's virtual reality.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Tyler. This is Sean. We're Rendered Reality, and thank you for joining us for a Sunday edition of Coffee and VR. Normally Saturdays, right?
Yeah, what's
Normally
up?
Saturdays.
Why are we live on a Sunday? This doesn't even make any sense to me.
So, can we explain a little bit? We don't like to not be, on the same day, but we had some other things going on, so we couldn't do a show yesterday. But there was just so much to talk about. We've been going back and forth with each other. We've been going back and forth with a Zoom meeting with everybody, from the Discord and stuff too, and talking even, what was that, maybe 2 hours ago?
Yeah,
so
we'll get into some of that.
Been hard.
Some people came up with some pretty cool ideas that we thought were really cool too. We'll get into some of that here in a little bit. Yeah, but there's just so much crazy stuff going on right now, and it's about to get crazier with Facebook Connect, or they're changing the name of Facebook or something for VR. I don't know what that's all about, but yeah, it's gonna get even crazier next week.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it will. I'm just super amped after seeing all the Lynx stuff too. I'm just so excited, and I couldn't shut up about it earlier on the Zoom meeting we had with everybody that. I'm amped for it. I'm just hoping they pull through in the couple areas that I'm still seeing some things missing, but we'll talk about that and why. We got new games coming too. Some came from Pulse, and some stuff we played that we're going to talk about. I don't know if it's all good, but we'll talk about it. It seemed to be kind of good. Some of it from your end, what I heard earlier, but pardon me, I'm getting my coffee.
That was coffee. You drink coffee in a can?
Yeah,
Sunday
late in the day.
So many things change from a Saturday morning to a Sunday afternoon.
It's how it goes. It is coffee. It's single origin coffee stout. So
nice.
It is coffee.
Yeah,
so
I got some coffee. I had some coffee this morning, obviously, but yeah, we definitely wanted to come on in here and do a show just because there is so much to talk about. We're excited to talk about some of the stuff. I'm a little bit more disoriented than I am normally, because usually I prepare for a show all week long to do on a Saturday morning. We had some family and stuff in town this weekend, and I wasn't planning on doing a show at all, so I didn't have all my notes together. I didn't have everything that I normally would, but it was kind of a scramble just to get this all put together for today, and I think it'll work out. But talking about, let's get into a little bit about the Lynx R1 stuff, because I actually did decide to go ahead and back the Kickstarter. I did that day before yesterday or something like that, I believe. And I
want to know why. I want to know why, because what made you jump the ledge? You know what I mean? Because you were very on
FOMO.
the fence about it last time we talked last week. So, but it shouldn't be for that reason.
No,
I mean, there should be a real reason.
The biggest reason I didn't back it right off the bat, like we talked about, is that the VAT tax stuff was in there, and everything I was looking at, it was going to be around $800, and that just totally discouraged me. And I was like, I don't really want to pay that much for this right now. I just feel like that's not what my expectation was. So after thinking more about it, talking on the show with you, talking, hearing from Gary in the chat and other stuff, I just decided that I'm just going to go ahead and do it. It comes out without the VAT and everything to about $500, a little more after all the fees, whatever gets taxed on. But I didn't do the controllers. I decided not to add the controllers, and I'm still on the fence about that, because I think they're like $100 to add on the controllers.
Yeah, it's $100.
I'm still very much on the fence about that, but I'm just really excited to try AR in a really good way.
Real AR headset.
With a pass-through capabilities, and I don't look at it as, I want another VR headset. I don't look at it as that being the headset that I'm going to play a lot of VR on, but I do want to see what they do. Like, I have a feeling they're going to come out with some really cool experiences and stuff that I want to be able to try out. I want to be able to, even just for us to be able to talk about it on here, and they're doing a lot of really cool things with it that I just want to experience. And for $500, if I can get just the headset, and the hand tracking is looking really, really good from what I've heard and what we've seen. It's looking like the hand tracking is really going to be on point. So I'm hopeful that a lot of the AR experiences and stuff, I'm going to be able to do a lot of things without the controllers. And hopefully, even if I don't decide to add the controllers on the Kickstarter, hopefully that'll still be something I can down the road. If I see that being something I feel like I need, then I can add or order. You know what I mean?
I wanted the VR controllers just to be able, first off, to talk about it, because I want to relay what the VR portion is like, with the blinders installed, with the controllers that work with it. And it sounds like they may be going to joysticks now instead of touchpads.
Yeah, somebody said that.
Hopefully so.
Yeah, that they're going to, and that makes
so.
me want them more, because I don't like touchpads. So if they are adding joysticks to the based off the Finch controllers, if they're adding joysticks to those, then that makes me want them more. For sure.
Right. I feel like a real true VR input controller has to have joysticks. There's kind of no way around that. Touchpads just aren't as accurate.
I just don't enjoy touchpads. I really don't. But
right. No,
and Paul P. Jr. said you can pay the $100 for the controllers later. Why not? And that was kind of my thought. Like if I can, get in for $500, this is going to be something that's, I mean, to me, is pretty groundbreaking in this space. We haven't, we've talked about it for a long time, that the best AR is VR right now. Maybe not always in the future, but as of right now, we've said that for a while, and I think that is true. And I want to experience that. There's I've been seeing, even with the Quest. So you got the Quest 2, right, with this black and white pass-through. It's not clear pass-through, but I posted it on the Discord a week or two ago, and I sent it to you. And there was a developer that was playing around with it. That was a video posted on Twitter, and he was in his house using the pass-through. And he peeked around the corner out into his hallway, and a ghost appeared out there, and he was looking at it what the heck, and then all of a sudden the ghost started coming after him. So he turned around to go back into his room, and a ghost popped up right in front of him. I just think there's so much cool stuff that can be done with the AR stuff that I just want to experience. And I still think that Facebook, Oculus, I still think they're going to do a Quest Pro with color pass-through that maybe is going to do some of this stuff, but I don't know. And I didn't want to miss out on the early bird price. I think the price of the Lynx is supposed to go up by $100, right? After the Kickstarter or something?
I would think it would have to. I mean, most everything does after a Kickstarter. And I did just want to mention, while I'm thinking about it, Stan said he's working on a game now, or maybe he just started to. I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but last week on the show, we mentioned how it'd be cool to blow through a wall.
Yeah, I did hear
in
about
AR.
That.
And he said that now they're working on that. So I wonder if he might have got that from you.
Yeah, and that's kind of like that one game that was
on
so
many cool things, man.
What was it? The which AR headset was that? I can't remember, but the Dr. Ward.
The Unreal? Oh.
What's that called? Am I saying that right? But they had an experience like that. It was like a mini game where stuff blew through a wall. But I just think that I love VR and I love playing VR games, and I don't look at the Lynx as being a headset that I want to get to be able to play all the games that I love playing in VR. I just want it to be able to experience something new. And that's, for me, is what I'm excited about. Not as a main gaming headset. I don't think it's ever going to be that for me, at least not at this point. But as far as really cool AR pass-through stuff that they can do, I'm excited.
So Revivalizer in chat, and cheers, man, good to see you, says Phasmophobia in AR would be insane.
Exactly.
But would it be? Because could you imagine if you did that in your house and then you went to go in your kitchen in the middle of the night? Would you be scared to go in your kitchen?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Could you imagine, man?
Yes.
Oh my God.
A whole nother level. Level,
that starts to change the mind, your mind.
Dr. Gordon Board's on Magic
crazy.
Leap. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
I think that it is. I think that VR horror is terrifying. I think AR horror is even
real.
more terrifying because it is even more real than what VR is, and VR already feels so real. It's going to be, I don't even know if it's healthy for your mind, some of the things that are going to be mind-bending things that happen. I don't even know that that's a healthy thing.
The future stuff that I think about is everybody could literally have a blank slate room, right? You could not care. You could have white boxes in your room for furniture, but then inside your headset, your future contacts, let's call it, or glasses, you just see everything that you virtually purchased. Yeah. So a furniture store would be going in VR and buying an asset and putting it in your house.
And you're just sitting on a box with a pillow, but it feels like the coolest couch you've ever had.
Right, exactly. I mean, you're sitting on a fish tank and not a couch, or you're in an aquarium room, or it's just endless, the possibilities.
Yeah. And another thing that I do really like about it that I want to experience is the fact that you have the additional, the add-on blinders that you can put on, because I think for AR, you're getting a full field of view, a full human field of view, because it's mixing things into the AR world, right? So you're still seeing your peripheral vision without them blinders on it in AR, and there's going to be things that pop out in front of you, but I think that's
not even peripheral. It's because of the protruding lenses. It is literally going to be like wearing a pair of glasses where you're just, and Gary said it on that stream, and it
Yeah.
was the one thing I've always wondered about is how much of the headset do you actually see when looking through the lenses?
Yeah.
And he said it's just like a frame. So
that's
I'm
cool.
assuming it's like if you wear a pair of glasses.
Yeah, because I mean, I wear
Something
glasses
like
all the
that?
time, and you don't ever pay
Exactly.
attention. Like if I think about it, I can
Right.
see the frame around my lenses, but if I
Right.
don't think about it, I don't ever pay attention. I don't ever notice
disappears.
it's there. Yeah, it's just
Right.
something that disappears.
I
But yeah, so
can't wait, man.
that's why I ended up going for it. I'm excited for it. I really want to try it. And I really was excited from the beginning. And I always said I was going to back it as soon as it went live on Kickstarter. And I hesitated because the price
you
just
had that
threw me
price
off.
mindset because
Yeah.
Dan told us a couple $100.
Yeah.
So when you go in assuming, okay, 300, 400 stretch, now we're 500 plus.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking
so,
probably get the controllers and the headset for like $450, $500. So, but then when I
Right.
added it up in the beginning with the VAT tax and all that stuff, it was like almost $800. I was like, oh
Exactly.
man, I'm still thinking there's an Index 2 coming, there's a Quest Pro coming. Like, I mean, we have to spend our real money on these things. So at some point, I'm like, where do I put the money? But I just couldn't pass it up.
but
I
it's
had to do
because
it.
this is it's a future headset. This is a headset being built for what's to come. So you're buying that bleeding edge technology right now, and you're paying for all the R&D that's gone into it, the
Yeah.
years of work.
And it's a small company.
the
It's not
backing.
Facebook. It's not a
Exactly,
company that
it's
can
not.
take a loss at what they're
Right.
doing like Facebook can.
Correct.
But
And
I'm excited to
fortunately
see
enough,
what
they have big backers, but
I'm excited to see what comes out, like what the because I mean right now it's very early. There's going to be developers that are jumping on board. Like I'm excited for the oh man, I can't think what's the hand physics lab, if they can get involved with some. I would love to see some of the stuff they could do with this. That I mean that stuff just is what excites me, and I just want to try it. I want to be able to experience it. I want to be able to have it for when these new things come out, so I can be like, let me throw the links on and go try this AR thing. Because I mean VR is awesome, but I still think there's a future for AR that could be really cool too. And the mixing of the two sounds awesome, to be able to flip back and forth.
We're at this point now where software just comes out and it's pretty polished. Like we don't really have to struggle to find polished stuff or things that work. Or, can you think back to when we started in VR, 15, 16, that we had to struggle to get things to play and work and tweak things. Do you remember how much time we set just going through
things to play right
settings
and be able to
and
be
rewriting
playable
files?
and not stutter?
It was ridiculous. Yeah. So I'm always okay with that, but that can happen when you're buying that newer technology. It's not going to be perfect. You may wait on software or things to come out that are going to work for it. You may only have a handful of things in the beginning.
Yeah,
but
that'll
it's kind
probably
of
be
proof.
the case.
It's proof of tech. So, and that's what we need. And the one thing we said earlier in that Zoom call that
was so
bothers me, scares me, doesn't, is like, let's say the software's not there, right? We don't have that true great AR software already ready to go for these headsets. We don't know. There could be stuff in the background, but we need developers to get on board.
Yeah.
So what if Facebook drops a AR headset, an announcement here coming up? All these developers will be coming on board now, developing AR software, AR games, AR applications, commercial, applications that this will work with. So even if Facebook does announce something like that, and it does have a true competitor to the R1, I feel like the R1 will benefit from that because it will get developers coming on board and more games and more.
Well, there's less restrictions. There's less restrictions around it. So even like you look at Steam, there's a lot more stuff that comes out all the time for Steam. Whether it might not be as curated and as high end, but at least for this, you get to experience a lot of things hopefully quickly because developers are jumping on board because there's just not all the restrictions that Facebook puts on everything. And so that with something that new, I think that's good to have.
I agree.
And
those developers push the boundaries of
where Facebook
AR,
wants
VR.
them to play safe sometimes. Yeah,
right.
I agree.
Yep, always. So I think it's a great thing. I mean, it really reminds me of the DK1, DK2 type of days where you have these experimental things being thrown at you. What was the
because we don't know what works
the
in
Italian, the house. Why can't I think of what it was called?
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I mean, it still stands the test of time. Look, I still see videos on like TikTok and stuff of guys doing, jumping down on people and kills.
Yeah,
and
there's
stuff.
that scene in Boneworks from that house experience in I can't think of the name.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I can't. Someone's gonna pull it. This is what we go through every day. We talked about this earlier too.
Yeah.
I can't think of it. I'm just waiting for it to pop up in chat now at this point because I
I'm
rely on you guys now. But yeah, I mean, there's
Tuscany. There's a Tuscany.
Yes. That's it.
So
you beat chat, at least on my end.
Yeah, me too. I think that's what it's called.
I'm excited to be on the verge of this. VR is the real AR type of thing. And it's the first one to really do it well and have a large FOV with these lenses that protrude enough that you lose sight of the headset. I love everything about it. The balance, keeping the weight in as far as possible, because you don't have that like pendulum effect where you have more weight out in front of you. Even when they show the side-by-sides with the Quest, right? I mean, it's half of the distance out. So the farther out you go, the more that weight feels front heavy. I mean, this thing's perfectly balanced, right? I mean, Stan balanced it on his hand. I mean, it's that balanced. So there's so many boxes that check that are huge for me.
Yeah, and there's still, let me refresh this to make sure, there's still 16 or 15 days to go before the end, and they're at 634,000 of 349,000 initial. So I mean, I'm pretty excited about it. And so to get into a little bit of what we're talking about in this Zoom call is, so we've actually talked about this a long time ago, but never really figured out any details or anything. And it just so happened that yesterday, our normal Saturday morning Coffee and VR show, it seems that people look forward to that. And when we don't do it, they're like, what the heck? We need something to fill this void, right? So
I was too, man. I was in the same boat. I didn't know what to do either. I'm like, okay, do I play Population 1 now?
It's hard because, I mean, we've done this for over 2 years now, probably getting close to 3 now, literally every Saturday, rarely missing any, and now we're getting to a point where we're missing some here and there. We're doing them every other weekend. Life's just busy, and it's hard to keep up on that all the time. So, we get family in town, you get things going on. But so I think it was originally Artful's idea in the chat, and he talked about, like, what about some of the people on Discord just hopping into a Zoom call where we can all talk about VR and what's going on in the week and all that stuff. And we were kind of like, oh, that'd be cool. Like, if you guys want to do that, you could record it, and then we'll throw it up like as a premiere on the Saturday mornings when we can't do a Coffee and VR show. That way there's still something out there. You still get chat involved in a premiere where there's still chat live, and it'll be something to listen to. And it'll be a little bit more open platform on the Discord, of people that want to jump on that day to record and want to give some thoughts and talk. So they set this up as a little test, and I just happened to be getting home when they were setting this up. So me and Tyler both jumped onto the call, and we just started talking, and it was awesome because we're just talking to people from the community, getting their perspective on how they feel on things and what their thoughts are and the things that happened this week.
I will say it already impacted me. Just one conversation with everybody else, because I don't want to say we are closed-minded, but everyone only has their own opinion, examples, and experiences to go off of, right? Our opinion
between me and you, sometimes we're similar. Not all the time, but sometimes we have a similar takeaway. We've been playing VR for the same amount of time. We've played a lot of the same games. We have similar experiences.
Yep. So talking to, let's see, was it Roy Brown?
So Boy Brown was on there, Artful, and Ender Saves was on. And then we had some other people hop into the call just because they wanted to listen, and they didn't necessarily want to talk or have a microphone, but they just hopped in to listen. Even my wife hopped on, and I was like, is that my wife in there? So
I had this opinion about Resident Evil 4, okay? And we got on there, and Boy Brown was telling me his opinion, and it not completely changed my mind about it, but he is a big fan of Resident Evil series.
It opened up your eyes.
Resident Evil 4, it does.
Yeah.
Because he has played this for a long time, which I've never played it. So I have no prior experience to any of the Resident Evil franchise, right? Which will probably blow some people's mind, but I was never really a Sony guy. So
I mean, I played Resident Evils, but never religiously, people just follow that. I played them. I don't even know what platform. I used to play with like my stepbrother, and it was, I don't know if it was on like Nintendo 64. Was it? There was some on Nintendo.
It was only on PlayStation.
Maybe it was PlayStation. I don't remember what it was. I just remember I would go over there and we would play for a long time. I don't remember which one it was, but it was a fun game where we would both just take turns, playing through the missions and stuff. But
so he started explaining his opinion on it and saying how much he loved it and enjoyed it, and gave him like an opportunity to play a game he loved in VR. And, we kind of bounced our ideas back and forth, between each other and stuff. But it's really cool to see other people's opinions. And that's what I love so much about VR. It was so proof to what we were doing that this community makes VR amazing. Because this isn't like flat gaming. This isn't like playing something on your phone.
No, there's a much more
people
connection
in VR. There is. So it was really cool to get to
GameCube.
experience and hear those other opinions. And it really does change my mind on things, which is really cool. So,
so they
props
said,
to everybody for joining. It was cool to hang out with you guys, man.
Yeah,
it was
for sure. And everybody
a lot
seems
of
to
fun.
think it's a great idea. Revivalizer said, great idea. Virtual Steve said, I love this idea. I will definitely be joining in on one of those sessions. So
Yeah.
I think it'd be really cool. And for us, we do this YouTube because we just love hanging out and we like talking about VR. We like VR, it's a passion of ours, but we don't do this because we want to be YouTube famous and YouTube rich or anything. Like, that's never going to happen. Like, that's not our goal. That's not what we care about. We do it for fun. So getting some of the VR community involved in something like that, I think would be a lot of fun. And I think it would be, even just jumping into that conversation was just a lot of fun. And like we said, even if it's a Saturday where we can't commit the time that we do for the show to get all set up and stream, even if they're doing that, we are probably still going to hop in and talk to them in there too. Maybe we got 20 minutes. Hey, I just got 20 minutes. I'm going to hop in here. Let's talk some VR. Then we'll hop out and they'll keep going for however long. But I think it's a really cool idea. And it's a way for people to get other people's perspective too, because just because we don't like something doesn't mean you're not going to like it. And just because we like something doesn't mean you're going to like it. So, everybody's different.
Do you know how long we have said that exact thing since we started the show? Since we started doing this on our first episode, probably, everyone's opinion's different. You know, from face mask to headphones, everyone has a different preference. So it's never going to be the same for everybody. So the more ideas and things you can get churning, the better, I feel like.
I agree.
And
I think it's a really cool idea. So
I do too.
Yeah, so we'll keep you updated on how that goes and see, go from there and see what takes place. I think our plan for next week is probably to do a live stream Coffee and VR show on Thursday after Facebook Connect. Thursday evening, it'll be evening Eastern time for us, is probably our plan. I don't know if we'll do a Saturday one this week because I'll actually be in Ohio. Tyler has a party going on, and so I don't know that we'll do a show Saturday, but our plan is to do a show Thursday for the Facebook Connected, because I got to imagine there's going to be some stuff to talk about. And even if we were going to do a show Saturday, we wouldn't be able to contain all of that until Saturday. So I think that'll be our best bet for that. But
if I'm having a Halloween party, what should I put people in VR? Phasmophobia? Something quick that they can try. Something horror quick.
Walking
Saints and Sinners?
Yeah, it's hard to go wrong.
I was just going to say that too, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question.
Hard to go wrong.
Just the part where you shoving knives in zombies' heads in the barrels is good enough for me, probably.
So since we're talking about Resident Evil 4, we might as well jump in and talk about this game.
Dreading this. I know.
This is my gameplay footage, just random. I don't even know what mission this was. I just been playing it for a little while, and I was like, I should probably record a little bit for if we do a show or whatever. So I did. So this is some of my footage playing the show. And so my biggest takeaway, my biggest drawback, and I know some other people are too, is the cutscenes. And it's the out of immersion cutscenes. Here, I didn't realize I was supposed to pick that up. I did later. But anyways, the out of the immersion cutscenes where you're like, boom, something's happening, and it's like, boom, it pulls you out and you're in a cutscene. And you're like, what? Like, what just happened? Like, this totally took me out of the experience. And I think that was our takeaway, both of us, that we felt that was taking away from the gameplay a decent amount.
Yeah, so I went in knowing this because by the time I played it, I had already heard and knew all this before anyway. So I go in knowing that. When it started, I loved it. I'm like, okay, if this is the flat rendition, I'm cool. I like the storyline. You can show them in the car and do all this stuff in the beginning phases. I'm like, okay, storyline flat, that's fine. I'm good with that. But then it came to the gameplay, and I'm in the middle of doing something, and it goes to a cutscene like that. It really breaks the flow of the game so bad, it bothers me. Now, I know when you do certain things, and we talked about this on our Zoom call earlier too, that once you do one thing or jump through a window, then the second time or whatever, it won't do it again. So, okay, that's fine. But the storyline stuff I like, the other stuff, like jumping things or talking to somebody in a car, and you're just standing in front of them anyways, and then it goes to a cutscene of that guy in the window. That part broke it for me. I don't know. I'm torn. That bothered me. I probably could get past that. It was actually the zombie or the sponge of bullets that they would take trying to shoot somebody that bothered me the most. I felt like there was no consistency to what I was doing, and I felt like there was no reward for what I was doing. I felt like it was just an endless rain of bullets with not enough ammo around.
Yeah, because you could be super accurate and get headshots, which should drop them, But sometimes
Shot a
it seemed like
cow.
it would drop, and other times it'd take like 4 headshots for them to drop. And I'm like, what is this? Like, what's going on
Right.
here? So that was a little bit
Right.
confusing to me. But ultimately, I think my takeaway, and we were talking about this on the Zoom call earlier, is that I don't really feel like this was a game meant for the hardcore VR enthusiast that's been around for a long time. I think this was a game that was designed to be newcomers, get people into VR, get that
Right.
name out there that people are like, oh man, Resident Evil 4, I got to play this. I'm going to buy VR. And I think somebody jumping into VR for the first time is going to be blown away by the game. They're not going to take as much notice to the cutscenes as we do because we've been playing for so long. And Mash Daddy Cool and Chatty said, cheers guys, good to see you back
Cheers.
back to Lynx R1 this morning. Hope it's amazing. Awesome. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're all
It
excited to
will
try
be.
that.
I'm super excited
Yeah,
for
me
it. I feel
too.
like this will be where it's going.
Yeah, so I think that's mainly where the focus of this game is, and I think it is fun. I think they did a lot of things right. You know, we were talking about this earlier, the fact that they came out and launched a game that has options for free locomotion, it has options for smooth turning and not snap
they
turning.
did.
It has, and this is a port. You got to remember this is a port. So even some of the other things I was really impressed with was that some cabinets you could actually physically grab the handle and open them. Doors you could actually physically grab the door and open them. Like those were things that I was very glad that they did. I think the cutscenes does take away from it. I think the headshots that don't make any sense all the time does take away from it. And I said, you know what, I really wish they would have done with the cutscenes is redesign them so that you're in the room with these characters talking to you, that more immersive cutscene that feels like you're in that environment, and would have been awesome. The problem is that this is a port. They could easily transfer these flat screen videos into a game compared to redesigning them all to be a 3D immersive environment. That would have taken so much work. It would have slowed things down and taken so much more money because there's a lot of cutscenes in this. There's a lot of scenes, and that's how the story evolves. That's how it tells you the story is from all of these things. You know what I mean? So that it would have been very hard to do. So I think as a port, for what it is, I think they did a good job. And a lot of people really love the game. I mean, a lot of the takeaway has been very positive. And I think that is a lot from, like, this is kind of silly to me. Like, you're watching a screen, but you got to move your hands like you're running. Like, no, let me run away from this boulder. But, I mean, the takeaway has been pretty positive. There's a lot of positive reviews. But a lot of people have the same complaints we do. And I think those are a lot of the people that have been around VR for a long time and know what works well and what doesn't.
Yeah, I get that. I feel like I don't know, like the ladder thing, you know, the teleporting of the third person.
Yeah, that sucks.
But yet they took time to make those heads hanging right there. You can hit those. So they made that like punchable, but yet you can't climb a ladder.
Right.
I feel like they could have picked some better things maybe to work on to be VR supported, but to each their own, you know. I mean, it's their experience and it's their vision. So
and I do like the manual reloads. Like, you can get pretty quick at that with the pistol, you know what I mean? And some of the headshot, the amount of damage, you can upgrade your gun. So I'm sure that's going to change. Like, I haven't had enough money to fully upgrade all of my guns and stuff. So I'm thinking as you increase that damage and stuff of that gun, that should lower. So you should get to a point where you can one shot. So I think that is probably part of the story that's going to play into effect. So I think some of that should get better. You know what I mean? That should change. So I think that maybe it's something maybe we shouldn't complain about too much, but I don't know. I haven't gotten that far into the game. I've only played a couple chapters at this point. Yeah, I think it's a cool game. I think they've done some good stuff. But as far as a zombie game, I mean, I think Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is a better zombie game for sure. I mean, I think it's just a better built game. But
I still feel like it's probably better.
Yeah, and those are built
I feel
for
you get to
VR
explore
games.
more, even though it's kind of a directed on rails. I feel like you get to do and explore more, even in Arizona Sunshine. So
yeah, and this wasn't bad. There was some decently, there was a decent amount of hidden stuff, like different areas you can take.
It's a good game to pick up to play if you're looking for something to play. For me, you might want to wait till it goes on sale or you have a 30% off coupon.
If you're a Resident Evil fan like Boy Brown,
just pick it up.
Just do it. I mean, I think you're going to be just blown away because you're a Resident Evil fan and you want to get into this game. So, I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. But we do have a giveaway going on for this game in our Discord. So if you jump on the Discord and go to the giveaways deal section and scroll to where it says Resident Evil 4 giveaway, you'll see a little party popper underneath. And you just click that party popper. That's all you got to do to enter. And then once the giveaway ends in like 2 days, then the bot will automatically pick a winner. It'll ping you in there. Hey, congratulations, you won. And then I'll send you a personal message, a DM, and send you a code. So it's kind of just a really easy way to do giveaways for us. So we kind of like that. We'll probably still do some Gleam and some on the show here, but
So Mash Daddy Cool said, talking about the Lynx R1, I'm freaking crazy. My wife might divorce me for buying it. And welcome to the club. Good to see you here.
Right.
Along with the rest of us probably too. That's kind of how VR is. It's like you just got to know when to jump and which headsets, to jump for. And that's the thing. Everyone's spending their own money on these. There's only so many you can only play one headset at a time, right? What we always say. So you have to pick and choose which ones are the right ones. And I feel like this would, if you were into VR in the early days, this is a headset you should probably pick up. If you wanted a DK1 and DK2, you should definitely pick this up, hands down. But where it's going, telling you.
It's pretty cool. But I mean, I've still been enjoying playing Resident Evil. Just watching my gameplay here, I kind of want to jump back into it.
I know.
It's a pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game. I don't know. I am not a big fan of the cutscenes, but the gameplay itself is pretty cool.
There's other games coming that I'm excited about. We have After the Fall coming, which
I mean, if this had co-op, if I could play this in co-op, I would love it even more.
Still coming this year. Coming this year.
Yeah,
allegedly. Hopefully, we'll find out some more soon. I think we will.
Yeah, I think so too.
But yeah, should hear in a couple weeks at least. But what about the other one we're getting for Oculus?
This is actually, and I don't know how I missed this. This has been out on Steam and it's been on SideQuest, and I don't know how
March
I missed this because I saw this is coming soon on Oculus Quest, and I was like, oh, this might be kind of cool. And then I saw it has co-op, and then I was all of a sudden like, okay, I'm totally into this game. I totally want to play this game because of the co-op. And before that, I was like, all right, this sounds kind of cool. But this is Terminus.
I actually was almost going to play this today. I was going to see if anybody else wanted to play this.
Yeah,
because Steam. Right now, if you buy it on Steam, allegedly, it says this on the Steam page, it is cross-buy with Oculus.
So they'll probably have to send you a code. And that's probably what, because I mean, it's not connected. So if they do that, then they'll probably.
Looks good, man.
Yeah, I don't know how they'll do that.
This game looks like fun.
Yeah, it does. So this is coming to the Quest 2 or the Quest. I think it's Quest 1 and 2 on October 28th. So this is coming up next week, but it looks pretty cool. So it's a survival horror game, and it's called Terminus VR, and you can play it now on Steam. And maybe is it cross-buy with Steam or SideQuest?
It's Oculus is cross-buy with Steam, is what it says on the Steam page.
That's what they're saying for this, because I can make more sense for SideQuest than Quest.
It says Oculus, so other than that, but it says cross-buy, and this was posted on Steam a while ago, so
I'm not sure.
Things could change to the Quest, but apparently it's cross-play, it's cross-buy. So we'll see.
Has anybody played this? If anybody in chat has played this, whether the Steam version or the SideQuest version, let us know if this is worth getting as excited as we are about it, because I just love the co-op game. I love the co-op aspect of VR. That is my favorite.
Yeah, I know. I want to play GTFO. I can never say that one right.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, we never did play that. So we played a little bit when that mod. I don't know if that mod's still supported. It might have to redo it after they've updated. But so this is going to be supporting single player and online co-op multiplayer for up to 4 people. So this reminds me, this might hold me over till after the fall if we don't get that on the 28th, which they could surprise us.
Revivalizer said what I was going to say too. The demo is on SideQuest, which is great. He says.
Yeah, he said the demo is great. So this looks cool.
Yep, I know. Yeah, definitely looks like worth a try, especially if you have some friends you want to play with.
Yeah.
Everything in VR is better with friends, right?
Yeah, I agree. So they're saying this is from a VR Focus article about it, talking about their Terminus VR survival mechanics. Realistic VR interactions to immerse players into the experience means a backpack with limited storage, a flashlight, limited battery, physically climbing ledges and ladders, looting furniture, and crawling into ventilation systems to find whatever you can. So I think this sounds pretty cool.
And this is Act 1, right?
Yeah.
So supposedly the developer's saying that in a couple months you will get Act 2 for free, and Act 3 will also be for free. No date on that, but supposedly a couple months maybe following. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like a solid pickup right now on Steam. It's $20.
Yeah.
So for $20, I feel like this could be a really great game. Can't speak from experience yet. Maybe after the show.
So on here, they're saying that it's cross-buy between Oculus Quest and Rift, and cross-play between Steam VR and all other versions. So I don't know where you saw that, but that'd be cool if they did. Because sometimes developers will do that. Like if you bought their game on Steam and you contact them, they'll give you an Oculus code for it or whatever it is too if you've already bought it. Some developers do that. I mean, it's not like built in, but some will do that. But yeah, I thought this is pretty cool.
Yep. No, I agree.
I Another thing I wanted that came out last week for the Quest 2 is the Unplugged Air Guitar. And I've been dying to play this, and I haven't played it yet. And it looks really cool. And some people love it, and some people don't love it. And it seems like the hand tracking isn't quite there to be able to support this on the Quest 2 yet, is what I'm hearing. And a lot of the songs are locked behind a progression system. That's what Artful was saying. But sometimes for me, that's okay, because that forces me to want to keep playing because I want to unlock that next song. And that's how like Guitar Hero and Rock Band and stuff was back in the day. And that sometimes kept me playing them. But
oh yeah, and Artful said that they did release something that says how to light your hands better and stuff
for
better
lighting,
tracking,
get better
which
hand
we
tracking
talked about.
and stuff.
Yeah, you definitely need good lighting and stuff so the cameras can pick it up easily. But yeah, it does look cool as if it would work good. The only thing that Artful did say earlier is they did lock all the tracks into progression. So kind of, I don't know, holds everything back maybe. I don't know. Maybe there's songs you want to play but can't. But
I like it because because sometimes with stuff like this, if I can go in and play all the songs that I want to play, then I go in and I'm like, all right, sweet, I played that song.
Done.
I never play it again.
True,
but if I'm like, I want to keep playing it so I can unlock stuff. Sometimes for me, that like subconsciously makes me want to play it more. But I still feel like this might be a game that is kind of like you try it out for a little while and you think it's cool and then you move along. I don't know if this is a game that's gonna.
Guitar Hero and Rock Band, they lock their songs.
Yeah, that's what you didn't listen to me at all because I already said that.
Yeah, no, but I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, I guess I didn't realize that though.
Yeah, I mean, you could buy songs, packs, and stuff too, but they also locked it behind them. Then there was a story. There was a story to the game where you were playing through different venues, and as you got scores, you unlocked more songs.
Can we play Rock Band next weekend? Can we do that?
I don't have it anymore. I don't have any of the stuff.
Slacker. I don't have the drums anymore.
Sold my drums. That's what I play is the drums.
Oh, you can sing. You can sing.
Yeah, yeah, because anybody wants to hear that. But yeah, but I think this is cool. I think it's a neat thing. But maybe this might be better on the Lynx R1 with better hand tracking because the hand tracking is better than the Quest 2. So maybe this is something that we'll see, on that. But at the same time, I would almost rather have the guitar controller because then you can really get dialed. I mean, you can get really good at those combinations and the movements. And I mean, that's to me might be a little bit more rewarding.
I feel like any game that requires timing, you have to have a controller because you don't have that physical input.
Yeah.
When you have hand tracking, there's no exact time you're hitting like a button. You know what I mean?
I agree. I think
I feel like that
might be kind of weird.
The one thing I feel like you could do is if you had an actual guitar you could use that would work as your controller.
Like the Rock Band guitar for the CV1 that they came out with?
Just a real guitar. Real guitar. That whenever you would actually hit it or touch it, that would be your input.
Well, then I feel like AR might be a very good way to learn to play the guitar, honestly.
Right.
Because it could overlay where your fingers need to be, the chords, and all that stuff.
Amazing. But the problem is right now with AR and with the Lynx, specifically, they don't have active tracking. So they don't have tracking for items that move. They have tracking for items that are stationary.
Well, it's for your hands and stuff is mainly. But I mean, that's something that I guarantee they can do down the road, though. You know what I mean? Like that, I'm sure they can.
They are working on it. It would need a. Qualcomm is the one that has to release, I think, their AP SDK, whatever, for that, something along that lines. But I think it's in the works. Don't know if it'll happen this iteration of headset, but we'll see.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Yeah. So I don't know. I did want to mention too that last night I got an email that Studio Form VR became a Patreon backer, which we don't do a lot with Patreon. I'm sorry for that, but we do have one, and they became a $10 a month supporter. And I was like, whoa, we haven't had any Patreons in a little while, so that was cool.
Right.
I just wanted to shout them out and thank them. I haven't added them to the little thing that scrolls on the bottom yet, but yeah, that was pretty cool. So Studio Form, they make some stuff like some weighted things for the headset to distribute the weight a little bit better and make them a little bit more comfortable. So thank you for that.
Ooh, speaking of Patreon, I got my VR Trend magazine too the other day.
Oh, this one?
Yep, you got it
too.
Mine's over there. Yeah.
Yep. So another big thing that happened this past week is the Varjo Aero. They got announced, and I was like, oh, people were telling us the Varjo event's coming up on the 21st, I think it was. And I was like, oh, that's cool, you know what I mean? And they were supposed to be getting into consumer grade VR, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, more people the better, because they've been industry focused, they haven't really done consumer VR stuff, been very high end stuff. And I was like, sweet, an affordable headset from Varjo that's going to have some good resolution. This is going to be sweet. And then I saw the price tag and I was like, this is consumer VR?
Well, I don't know if they're working on high-end consumer,
Yeah,
let's call it.
it is.
And I get it. I get because, okay, look at TVs. You want to buy some crazy OLED TV, you're going to pay for it. So I kind of compare it to that. You want to buy any type of expensive display, you're going to have extremes of price. Yeah, you're going to get that. Yeah, I mean, you're going to get all kinds of crazy stuff with this. Automatic IPD adjustment?
Automatic motor-driven IPD adjustment between
3
57
points of
to 73.
adjustment for fitment of the headset. I mean, you're getting things that are, top tier, but man, it's just price-wise,
$2,000.
I don't know. I mean,
the price is $2,000.
Prosumer. There you go. Mr. Man said
it is.
Prosumer.
So this is a $2,000 headset that needs Steam VR base stations that it doesn't come with, and it doesn't come with any controllers. So this is $2,000 with no base stations and no controllers. And I was like, holy crap. Like, I mean, at least give me base stations and controllers for $2,000. I was like, yeah, and no mic. There's no mic and no headphones either. There's no built-in audio, I don't think either, if I remember right.
No, that's what Chris just said. TVs come with audio. The Varjo Aero doesn't.
Yeah.
But do TVs really though? I mean, can we call that audio?
Yeah, sort of. But yeah, so I mean, this is, Mepper said it's rich sumer, not prosumer, rich sumer. Yeah, so this is, it is prosumer, I guess, but man, it's like as soon as I saw the price and what it come with, I was like, I have no desire whatsoever to buy this thing. This is not for me. I am not spending this day and age. I'm not spending $2,000 on a headset that comes with no controllers, no base stations. Yes, I understand it's got good visual quality. It has 2880 by 2720 per eye, and it's a mini LED LCD times 2, or 2 times is what it's saying. So it has like LED and LCD technology in there, as far as I understand, I guess.
So to me, and I think the standard that gets set for me for buying a high-end VR headset is when the index dropped, right?
Yeah, $1,000.
That is probably
top line for me.
Right. You're at 1,000 plus. I could see 1,200 as a stretch for top tier headset with controllers. You can sell me on that. But past that, no. Yeah. I mean, especially with no audio. I mean, it's just lacking everything you need to even get it to work. No.
I mean, how much is a mic to throw in there? I mean, a mic's not expensive. I mean, come on. Like, I mean, it does have eye tracking, so it has the built-in eye tracking, which is cool. Some really cool things that they are doing with it. The eye tracking that utilizes the automatic IPD adjustment. That's cool, but that's not something that I have to have. That's something I'd like to have. But for that price tag, I mean, it's just, man, it's not for me. I mean, is it for any of us? I mean, is there anybody in chat that ordered this thing that was like, oh man, I got to have this thing. This is it.
If you can afford it, order me one too, because I'd love to try it. But
I mean, it's just so much money. I mean, and for us, it wouldn't be as bad because people that already have an Index or, a Vive or whatever that have controllers, base stations, but what about somebody that doesn't have any of that? That stuff's not cheap to add on. Like, you're spending a lot of money.
You can go buy a G2 for, what is it now? Is it down to $5.99?
Well, we're going to get into some G2 stuff because they're pulling some strings and doing some things.
Yes, on a Kaze, exactly. That's what I always cry about too. The higher frame that they push and the higher pixels, what kind of graphics card you need? Now you need a 3090 to run this thing, and you're maxing that out, and you're spending $2,000 just to get one of those right now.
So I think Vivian might have tried this. She said it actually felt like I was going to break it because there is a line break between the screens. It's pretty awesome for enterprise applications, though. Yeah, which I do agree for enterprise.
Break between the screens?
Yeah, I'm not sure on that. We obviously haven't tried this, but for enterprise, I do agree. I mean, when you get something with really high visual quality that looks great, for that kind of an industry, it was going to be cool. But they have already had those headsets. This was supposed to be more of a consumer headset, not the, But I understand. I mean, I don't know.
It's a prosumer / commercial. I mean, look, if I was doing flight training and stuff, and I had a flight training school, I'd buy it all day without
really
even
consumer,
second. Right. So, well, even if I was trying to get my license, like let's say I was trying to get my pilot's license, I would actually consider this. I mean, I really would.
Yeah.
But that's for a reason, not really for when I think consumer, I think for fun.
Yeah. And Steve Drumheller, he said, sadly, the reviews haven't been stellar either. Yes, I mean, it does have some drawbacks that people have been talking about. But Vivian said, it looks like there is 4 screens stacked together. And I think there is. There's 2 on each one. There's LCD and LED. And they're kind of using some technology like they used in some of their previous ones, not like the Retina display quality that some of their higher end ones do. But yeah, I think there are multiple screens. And so she said, she said the eye tracking is amazing though, which that's good. I'm glad to see that eye tracking is getting to that point, and I think we're probably going to see some stuff from Facebook at their Connect, and we've seen HTC doing stuff with eye tracking. So
big things. I don't know, man. I don't know to get it down to that price point.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying in general though. I think I mean eye tracking is coming down. The reason it was expensive is because it was hard to do, and that people didn't have it completely figured out yet. As it gets more figured out, and as it gets easier, the price comes down. It'll be more of a readily available thing that's going to be in all headsets at some point in time. So. But yeah, she said as a gamer, no way. Yeah, I totally agree. $2,000 with no mic, no headphones, no base stations, no controllers. It's like, what? Like, come on, I can't do that.
Yeah, as a gamer, no way. Yeah,
and you throw a huge wrench in the mix when you have a Quest 2 that is $399 or $299 that comes with everything you pretty much need and does a pretty good job. I mean,
and more.
Like Facebook or not, price-wise, they've thrown a big wrench in the whole thing of saying, boom, here's a headset that's cheap that gives you everything and can do a lot of things. So,
I know.
I mean, you got to look at that aspect. It just makes it hard to spend $2,000 on a headset when you can buy things a lot cheaper.
Yeah, okay, Butt says if I could get all my VR money back, I could afford the Aero. Yeah, and that's the thing. You got to know when to jump. I mean, Sean and I did the same thing. Yeah. We both wanted the DK1 and the DK2. Every time they dropped, we're like, should we do it? Should we do it?
I didn't have a PC,
but there wasn't any. Well, we didn't have. That wasn't the issue, though. It was, but it was more the point of there's no software that is worth having it for. And then we finally came out with the original Rift, and that's when it was time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I would have had a PC capable, I probably would have bought the DK2 for sure. But back then I was like, man, to spend the money on this headset and a PC,
for something we can't really do much.
And I didn't know any. Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, I definitely wanted it really bad. Right. But Tony Digital, $25 super chat.
Cheers, man. Good to see you on a Sunday, man. Good to see everybody on a Sunday.
Yeah, for real. It's kind of crazy. It feels like a Saturday now to me. I don't know.
Right?
My whole week's gonna be thrown off.
Seriously.
So. People mentioning, the G2, why not buy, a G2 for $599, which is, I mean, a G2 has some pretty great, visual quality and stuff. The bad thing is that Reverb G2 decided to do a refresh on us.
Yeah, sure. And so everyone with the G2 gets updated tracking, right?
No, they don't.
No?
Only people that buy a new G2 headset. So us people that bought the G2 originally and complained about the tracking quality, and they said, what? Our tracking's great. There's no tracking problems. Well, now they're saying we're going to come out with a new headset that has a 30% more vertical coverage area for tracking. That is only on this new version that they're going to come out with. So you technically have to buy another one, which is whatever. I understand early adopters, the technology changes. I understand. So at least they're going to give us like a 80% credit. Just kidding. They're not going to do that either. But so I think it kind of stinks because they obviously realized that their headset had some flaws. And instead of saying, yeah, you're right, the tracking isn't as good as it should be on this, we're going to fix the tracking with a new headset, but still say that there's nothing wrong with our original headset. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It is what it is. I guess that's part of being an early adopter and things. But I'm a little bit bummed because I really like the Reverb G2 as far as visuals, comfort, and audio.
I still use it all the time.
But I hate it for the tracking of the controllers, and that's my main thing for a lot of the games that I play. I would rather use other solutions that have better tracking. So if they're fixing that issue, that kind of stinks because I'm not going to spend another $600 on another G2 when I already have one, right? I mean, I'm not going to do I don't know.
I just don't know how they didn't see this out of the gate. We knew it the 5 minutes after using it,
as soon as we used it.
It was obvious, So I don't know if they just said, screw it. It's not really a game headset anyways. Well, why isn't it? I mean, you at least need to use controllers in menus or something. I mean,
it is a gaming headset, though. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, that is what it is. But I don't know. I mean, it still works great, like you talked about, for simulators, racing sims, flight sims, and stuff like that.
Main fan, I'd rather have the Varjo Aero for $2,000 than the G2 for free. I like my G2, though, but... only for visuals. That's it. Right.
Yeah. So the other upgrades that they're doing is cable updated for increased compatibility with AMD systems, resolving connection issues. New face gasket. So the new design enables eye relief to be set to either 9mm or 15mm, and enabling users to better dial into their visual sweet spot. So it sounds like they're using like spacers in the gasket to get it either closer or farther away.
Sure.
But
which I always said from the beginning, that interface pushes your head out so far. I don't understand that, but
yeah. And another thing they are doing, and this should, as far as I know, I don't think this is just for the new one. This should be coming to all of them. That they're making a setting where you can automatically launch Steam VR with the headset instead of having to launch the Windows Mixed Reality portal and then go to Steam VR, which I hated that. Like I never want to use the Mixed Reality portal of Windows. I don't even want to see it. I understand some people like some of the stuff in there. I don't want anything to do with it. If I put the headset on, I just want to go into Steam. And that was something that did always annoy me with the G2.
It doesn't bother me because whenever the headset's plugged in, the software runs and it's just on. And
I mean,
I go into Microsoft Flight Simulator and I hit all of Control Tab and I'm in. So it doesn't.
But I would rather just get rid of the portal and just do Steam VR. I think that's an improvement. So I'm a little bit bummed that they're upgrading this thing and that I won't get to try it. But I mean, their 30% improvement in vertical tracking, I don't know that it's still going to track as good as some of the other headsets on the market. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, it would be cool if they would at least give us like a trade-in credit or something. But I mean, I guess, I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, we ordered right off the bat, like, and I think that it'd be different. I think I feel a little bit salty about it because it's still just a Reverb G2. It's just they're fixing the issues. They're not calling it a Reverb G2 Pro or a Reverb G2 anything else. You know what I mean? It's still just the Reverb G2 that they fixed the problems that they originally put in.
It should have been tracking edition or like gaming edition or something.
Yeah, they're fixing the problems that they built into the first headset that they sold us and took our money for. And part of the problem was that a lot of the early people that had these things in early reviews said the tracking was great and the tracking was pretty much on par with the Quest 2 and whatever else, and then getting it and experiencing it, it's like, it's not really.
Probably not
at all.
Have you used those headsets?
Yeah, so that was a little bit of a disappointment to me. I had my expectations set a little bit higher because this one came out with more cameras than the original mixed reality versions of, the Windows mixed reality headsets. So
yeah, I know. Yeah, that's crazy. Transformers. Can we talk about Transformers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you playing with Transformers?
No, usually Legos, but I like Transformers too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are getting a Transformers game. Super, super amped about it. I love me some Transformers. Don't get me wrong.
Kind of amped.
Yeah, right. I mean, I love it. Love the idea of it. It's just not what I always dreamed of, maybe. They put it that way.
Yeah.
We're getting a Transformers game to VR.
This is the trailer.
Which is the trailer for it, which tells me it is a rail shooter.
Yeah, definitely looks like it.
Which kind of saddens me. I mean, give me some real Transformer action. Like,
this looks like something.
Let me be a freaking Transformer, for gosh sake.
This kind of looks like a 2016 title. Like, this is what I expected. And, like, there was that one game that I can't remember what it was. It was just like a little demo where you're Showdown, I think it was, where you're just slowly moving through this environment. There's all this cool stuff blowing up and happening around you. And I love that in 2016. I was like, this is like the coolest thing I've ever seen. And that was one of the first things I used to put people in because they didn't have to know any controls. You just got to experience that. And that was cool. And I think that's what this is with a little bit of shooting mixed in. I did want to mention real quick, Leggy Luke said, don't know if you mentioned it already, but the new G2 version is for US only. He said, crap move. I didn't realize it was for US only too. I didn't know that.
Yeah, right. Jeez.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this looks kind of cool now. I don't know, man. It just saddens me. Like, I want to be a Transformer. I don't want to watch Transformers.
The potential for what Transformers could be in VR. Like you said earlier, jumping into one and jumping into a car and transforming into the Bumblebee or whatever, into a big Transformer, and then you're in this big mech thing.
A helicopter and I'm in an open world or something, or give me something freaking amazing, but come on.
So hopefully we're being a little harsh and it ends up being better than the trailer looks, but
Arcanian, exactly. Yeah. Wait, a Transformers game, but you can't transform.
Right, that's what it looks like. The coolest thing about this whole trailer,
being a kid, right?
Yeah, this is the coolest part of the whole trailer is when the Transformers are right in front of you and you see the scale is probably pretty cool. But man, this is, I don't know. I mean, so this is coming in winter of this year. They're saying it's coming to Steam VR and PlayStation VR. I don't know.
It's too bad. Too bad.
What did Wolf Raza say? Because Fluke Rogi said, someone get Wolf Raza a paper bag. I think he's hyperventilating. He said OMMFG in all capitals. And then what in all capitals before that? Yes.
Get excited to be disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, if this is just a complete on rails game where you're just slowly sliding through this world, you got a little shield you're shooting, there's some action going on around you. It looks a little low budget for a name like Transformers, but I don't know. I mean, maybe it'll surprise us. I
know. Beast Wars. Is this directed by Michael Bay too? Not enough explosions. No.
Fluke Rogi, Paradise Decay said you'd be better off playing the original games in VorpX. So big proponent of VorpX, Paradise Decay. So, but he might be right. I mean, you probably would be better off doing that.
Yep. I know. I just can't wait for somebody to like blow us out of the water with some like.
Well, when you told me, you were like, dude, did you hear about Transformers coming to VR? And I was like, what? Yeah. I was like, no. And then we started looking into it, and we didn't know if there was a trailer yet. And so we were trying to find some stuff about it. And then we came across this, and we were like, oh, I don't know. So we were so excited too.
Right. But, I can't. Yeah, it's too much. But anyways, it's all right. I mean, what?
Chris 9989 said, "Get excited to be disappointed." That should be Vive's new slogan. And somebody mentioned that we were doing the little Zoom call. You said somebody mentioned that the Lynx R1 is the same price as the Vive Flow. Same price, and the Vive Flow is an Oculus Go, essentially. It's a media consumption device, and the Lynx R1 is going to be able to do all that plus more for the same price.
It's not be connected to your phone.
Come on. What? You got to be kidding me.
Exactly. So, HTC. Come on. Give it with program. I know.
Yeah, so Tony Digital sent another super chat. He said, you guys remember the Avengers demo that was like Showdown, that was on the Gear VR? That was really cool. Did you ever do that one? I don't think I ever did that one, because you had the Gear VR back in the day.
I would be surprised if I didn't, but I can't remember.
Yeah, the Avengers one? I don't remember that. Said it was kind of like Showdown, so it's probably just an on rails moving through the visual.
Oh, that was a late. Yeah. I think I do remember. Did it do like a Spider-Man, Superman kind of thing, like between them all or something? Like we got to see each one or something. That came out late. That was a late Gear VR. That was like a Note 7, like
I don't know that
edition of Gear VR.
But it sounds cool. Showdown was cool back in the day when I first got VR. Showdown was impressive. I couldn't tell you how many times I just watched.
Visually, it was amazing for what we were running on a 1060.
And then at the very end, you get like, I forget, it was like a big a big dragon or a big something. I don't remember what it was at the very end. And all of a sudden it went like right down to your face, and I was like, holy crap! And I used to put people in there, and they'd be like sitting there like, oh, this is really cool. And then they're like jumping. It was so cool. It was cool back then.
Vivian said, just did Justice League on Rift. There are so many games that go back to like that Rift right here.
Yeah, from Other Sons. Here. That was a good one.
Such a good. If you got a group of like 4 or 4 people.
2 to 4, yeah.
Just pick. It's expensive still. I think it's what, $29? Didn't we determine that?
I think it's
still
like
$29
still. I think it's 40.
I don't know, but it's a great game to play with a group of people.
Yeah, it
Super fun game.
Yeah.
I can't say that enough. Yeah.
I did want to mention too about the VR ears. We talked pretty poorly on them last week, and they contacted us. We've had some other people mention things, and there's been some really mixed reviews. One of the things is that I didn't realize at the time, because I was trying to twist these, because like the Valve Index, everything else, you can rotate these. And I was like, these don't rotate, but you actually have to take them apart. And then there's a little Allen head screw that you actually have to loosen to adjust and then tighten back down, which I think is a terrible idea. It should have been like a friction lock, kind of just like the Index. You should be able to swivel these things. Yeah, without having to loosen a screw. So I didn't realize at the time. They're telling us essentially that you need to have 40 hours of break-in time for these before they really start to sound good. And I'm like, they said, with any high-end audio.
They're not headphones.
Yeah, they're not headphones, which I understand. They're speakers. They're over-ear speakers. That's what they are. But they said with any high-end audio, you should break the speakers in for 40 hours, which I've heard that with high-end audio stuff before, but I've never really noticed my personal. I used to be pretty into some home audio stuff back in the day. I never noticed a huge difference, but 40 hours is a long time. So they gave an audio file that you can plug this thing into, and they said, play this audio on medium for 1 hour a day. And it's like, I don't know. Like, I feel like now it's almost just like a little bit of damage control that like, are these things, I'm going to try to break them in. I think I'm just going to plug them into something and let them play for 40 hours because I'm not using them right now. I went back to my engineered AF clip-on headphones, but I'm going to try to break them in, and I want to give them a fair shot. I don't want to be overcritical if they're right and they get better. I don't have my hopes very high, and they're still too heavy. They're too heavy. They want them slid all the way to the front and angled. I get that, but then you're increasing the front heaviness of the headset even more. I mean, we weighed these things and showed the video last week, and they're literally more than half the weight of the entire Quest headset. headset with the regular strap, and it's like,
Right.
But
Yeah,
I'll give it a fair shake. I'll do what they
the
tell me.
biggest thing for me is the weight with the rotating. That's what I can't get past. Like, I just feel my headset going, off its center all the time, and my visuals getting bad and stuff.
I mean, that's what I said.
There's a bunch of reasons, but
because they said, because I did a video on their VR Power 2 and I think their VR Power 1, and I liked those. I thought they were good products. I've had good luck with them. They last, they still work. Even the first VR Power, and in their email, they said like, you liked our other products, like, but essentially I told them, I said, I don't want to be mean, but this is my experience. Like, to me, even if the audio was as good as the Index, I still wouldn't want to use them because of how heavy they are. And like I told them, these are just my experiences. Like I just, I understand that they want to tell us that, maybe there's some other things they want us to try to see if it gets better or whatever. And I respect that. I understand it's a company, they poured money into this. But for me, even, the audio quality wasn't there for me. They said even the bass will get better as you break them in for 40 hours. Okay, I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to let them play for 40 hours.
These aren't 12-inch subwoofers, man. These aren't.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. But I'm going to give it a fair shake, and we'll let you know once I get these things. I don't know when I'm going to get them broken in because I really haven't been using them on my headset because I don't like them. But
I'm literally charging my Zune right now so that I can just play audio stuff on there for days on end and just
I guess that's what I'm going to do too. Just try to let it plug into something, the computer or whatever, and let it play for 2 days straight and see if they have more bass. These are not Index quality audio, like not even close to me, not even close. Even when they're adjusted and put perfectly over your ears, like they said it should take 15 minutes to get these things perfectly positioned over your ear. And it's like, come on, I don't take that long on my Index to try to make sure they're perfectly. They sound good even if they're a little bit off. You move them and
go bad, good, bad. Okay, we'll go back to the good, and there you go.
15 minutes, come on, man. Like my Index sound good whether they're perfectly over my ears or a little bit off. Either way, they still sound good. But I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry. I throw that out there. They said that we did it wrong. We didn't break them in, so we'll we'll try it. We'll give it a fair shake.
Yep.
I don't want to be overly negative if they don't deserve it, but these are my thoughts.
Yeah, we're consumers. We're not sitting here receiving these for free. We are.
Yeah, we paid
how
for
we
them.
receive it. The packaging was nice. All that stuff was good. It came with all the accessories for different mounting, which
is good.
I still feel like they don't mount super solid for what I would want, I guess. But that's me. It could be the strap on the Quest, right? But past that, it's good packaging. Give me that.
Yeah. And some people do like it. I've had people tell me that they think they sound better than the built-in audio, which they probably sound better a little bit than the built-in audio. Not much. I was plugging them, unplugging them, and it was not good enough to offset the weight of those things.
And it's a cost to benefit too. For the price of them compared to some other things you can buy out there. Everyone keeps asking us about the Engineered AF ones too.
Tony Digital said, "I'm using my VR ears in the box as an ottoman." Revivalizer said you're not wearing them right, and that's what they told me. So I guess that's
exactly.
My fault. I don't know. But I tried moving them too. Whatever. I'll break them in. 40 hours. That's what I need to do. Exactly. So I'll give them a fair shake. But anyways, let us know in the comments and stuff what your thoughts are about the VR with friends. We talked about that a little bit, about doing some Discord style Zoom calls for some of the weeks that we can't make a Coffee VR show. I love the idea. I'm looking forward to listening to some of those and maybe getting to partake in a little bit of some of those, which would be kind of cool and get the community involved. And I know there's a lot of people on here that would love to jump into something like that and give their thoughts and stuff. I think it's a pretty cool idea.
I'm glad to hear everybody's thoughts. I really do. It's crazy how eye-opening it can be, seeing stuff from different perspectives and why people like things. Sean and I gravitate towards shooters and co-op stuff and music rhythm stuff, as I tend to like a lot too. But explore. That's why I want to play. What's the? I can't ever think of the name. Terminus. I want to play that survival co-op.
Yep.
Go play that.
Yeah. The bad thing was there was a couple of games that launched this last week, but with Resident Evil 4 coming out, they didn't get much. It's got to stink to release your game on the same day as this really big title game, a game with the name of something like that. But the Air Guitar was one of them, Ragnarok, and Space Folk City, which Space Folk City I haven't played yet either, and that looks pretty good. $24.99, that looks pretty good too. So if you played those, let me know. I need to jump into a couple of those and try them out. But so pretty cool.
Yeah. Blizz says Rebuff also said we would get these headphones last year. Exactly. So they're depreciated already because they should have been a year old.
Yeah, pretty much.
They were for the Quest. They were for the original Quest, not the Quest 2. Like,
yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do have a giveaway going on for Resident Evil 4 in the Discord. Discord link is in the description and the chat. Jump on there.
Yes.
Go to the giveaway section. Hit the little party popper and you're entered. That's all you got to do. No purchase required or anything like that. So, but yeah, and let us know in the comments stuff what you think of Resident Evil 4, because really I think for the Resident Evil diehards, they're loving it. And I think I've been having fun with it too. Like I said, we had a couple complaints about it, but all in all, I'm looking forward to after fall. That's my takeaway.
Oh, me too, man. I can't freaking wait. I can't wait. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I know.
That's pretty much it from us. And as of now, we'll see you this Thursday. So after Facebook Connect, hopefully hopefully we're not disappointed. There's some really, really exciting stuff to talk about. Hopefully new headset, new game launches, dates for some of these games we've been wanting. Maybe
Index
some
2.
surprise launch. What? What'd you say?
Index 2.
Maybe an Index 2. Yeah, that's true. That could happen.
Index Mobile, Index Standalone, whatever we want to call it.
I don't know. We'll see. Who knows?
It's coming. It's coming.
So.
5 minutes before.
Yep.
Get ready. Click that pre-order. Get your accounts ready on Steam.
That'd be cool. But saying. So catch us here Thursday after the Facebook Connect. Thursday. We'll have it on the Discord what time we'll go live, but we're looking forward to checking that out and talking about that stuff for sure. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're out of here. We'll see you back here or see you in VR. I'll be playing later probably. Look us up on Discord.
Maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. I got to be somewhere at 5. So, but anyways, all right. We will catch you all later.
Yep. We're out of here.
See ya.
Later.